This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so just a quick recap. What we have done in our last session is we already started replicating few documents, right? So mainly we replicated the documents related to general ledger accounting. Okay, so which means if I go to FB03 and if I want to see the documents which are transferred from this client, which is our source client, okay, and in our company code CF03, it will give us the list of all those documents which have been replicated from this source system. So you can see this is my target system document number and this is my source system document number. Okay, so if I open any particular document, it will clearly show me that this document has been initially posted in which particular system. Okay, what is the document number in the old system, which company code, which year. And as I told you, there is an option of drilling down also, which means if you double click on this, it will automatically take you to your source system document. Okay, only thing is it must be activated from the technical side. Otherwise, you can see it is having the option of drilling down also. All right, so this is what we have seen in terms of the general ledger accounting. So just one document I'll again show you just to clarify whatever we completed. Then we will start our other replications related to AP, AR, asset accounting, and we will see what is possible in central finance and what is not possible in central finance. So I'm connecting to ECC. Okay, so simply I will go to transaction FB50 just to show you one more transaction, how it can be replicated. So whatever is your posting date, if you want to keep today's date is fine. Okay, company code is fine. We want to replicate the data from this company code. I will enter my GL accounts. So these are my source GL accounts, which are mapped with my target GL accounts in the mapping, in the MDG mapping. Okay, and when it comes to MDG mapping, there are two types: value mapping, key mapping. So these are master data. They are assigned in the value mappings. Okay, and if I go to the cost center field so that I can enter the cost center here. Okay, and try to save. So as soon as I save this document, if it is relevant to the replication in the source system itself, I'll be able to see this document in which table. Where should I go and see whether this document is replicatable or not? So there is a transfer table, right? We have discussed there are some transfer tables, CFIN underscore ACC HD and CFIN underscore ACC IT. These are the two tables which are going to store those accounting documents which are to be replicated. Okay, so this is header and this is line item table. Okay, I'll come to this table, and if I want to see for company code CF01, it will show me all those documents, okay, which are to be replicated or already replicated. So the one that we posted just now, let's see which is that document that we posted. No, this is different. The document that we posted just now is ending with the 9. So let's see whether that document has been available in this table or not. So you can see this, the last document. These are the two lines which are generated just now when we created a document in our source system. Okay, now as soon as the document is available in the source system, it will trigger the replication. And in the replication, in the central finance system, in the target system, if there is any error because of some mapping, because of some accounting error, anything which is stopping the document to be posted in the central finance system, that can be monitored in the AIF Monitor, Application Interface Framework Monitor. So AIF is a technology which we are using to monitor the errors, right? So if you come here and see for your accounting, there are different applications here. You can see for accounting document, for controlling document, for cost object. So as of now, we are just discussing the accounting document. Once we complete this, we will also try to post some controlling document. We will try to also create some cost objects, and we will see whether those are getting replicated or not. So in our case, this is the application which is related to replicating the accounting documents. And before you come here, here there is an option whether you want the system to display only those accounting documents which are in error, or you want to display all. So I want to display all because most probably the document that I just now posted must have been already posted. And you can restrict it date wise. So I don't want to see for the whole 10 days. I want to see the data which is posted on 7th. Okay, so it is showing only one document. You can see there is only one document in today's date. Let's see the status of that document. So you can see this flag. You can see the flag means successful, which means this document is already posted in our central finance system also. If there is any error, that will be seen here in the red message. You can double click, you can find out what is the error, which mapping is missing. You can set up that mapping. Okay, once your mapping activity is done, you can come here, you can select that document and you can say restart. All right, this we already seen in our last session. So now if I double click on this, it will clearly show me which document has been posted in the central finance system. You can see the document which is posted is ending with 8 and it is generated in company code CF03. Okay, so if I want to see this document in my target system, I will go to, I think FB03 is already open, or maybe I closed. So I will go to FB03 and I want to see the document which is ending with 8. This is exactly what has been posted just now. So if you go to this header, you can see in the source system, the document which got generated with this number is replicated with this number in central finance. Okay, so this is a simple general ledger replication that we have seen, but there are a lot of other documents, for example AP, AR, even the documents which are coming from SD, asset accounting. So we need to see the treatment of those documents also, and that is exactly what we will do today. Okay, any questions till now? Have you understood how this replication works? Because if you understood this, then AP and AR it's straightforward. Only thing is we need to understand the challenge, what is possible to be migrated and what is not possible to be migrated. Okay, any question before I go to posting the AP or AR document in the source system? Okay, if not, we already posted few documents if you remember previously, but those documents we want to consider in the initial load. So I'm not touching those documents because we activated the real-time replication in our last session itself. So whatever has been posted previously before the replication was active, that would be taken care by the initial load. But whatever documents you start posting after the replication is active, those documents will be migrated or replicated to the central finance system. Okay, so I'm trying to create a vendor invoice, AP invoice. We already created a vendor in our company code. Okay, this is a vendor which we will use, and this is my source system. You can see I'm posting this transaction in the source system. I will enter the invoice date, some reference, okay, and amount. Let's say the amount is 10,000 or whatever it is. Okay, and here I will enter the GL account relevant to, or maybe because I already tried this, okay, let's continue this and then maybe I'll show you by creating one more vendor, because this mapping I already done, so it will not result any error. So this is my GL account, cost GL account, and I will put star as the amount, and finally I will enter the cost center here. Okay, and try to save this document. So post. Okay, since this is also accounting document, either GL, AP, AR, that is secondary, but this is also the accounting document. And if this is accounting document which is related to real-time replication, I will go to the same table to find out whether this document has been stored in that table or not. Again, what is the table? cfin underscore ACCHD and cfin underscore ACCIT for items. Again, I will enter my company code here to tell the system that I want to see the documents which are generated in this company. So CF01, and I should be able to see the AP document that I posted just now. You can see last two lines. Okay, earlier we have seen this 9 ending with 9. Now we posted the AP invoice. Just verify if the document number is correct or not. So this is the document that we posted just now. Okay, which is a vendor invoice. You can see this is exactly what we posted just now. So this document is appearing in this table. Okay, which means this document is related to the real-time replication. Now let's see whether this document has been replicated in S/4HANA or not. So what I'll do, I'll go to S/4HANA system. If I directly want to see the document, instead of checking the error, I will go to transaction FB03. In document list, I will just enter the logical system. I want to see all those documents posted in this company code which are replicated from this logical system. Okay, execute, enter, and you can see the last document. This is exactly the document that we posted in ECC, ending with 4. Right, so it has been replicated. Okay, and it has been created as this document in the target system. Now, if I double click on this, you can see, just compare the vendor number. Just compare the vendor number of the source and the target. Is it same? Just a minute. Okay, you can see this is my source system CF01 company code, and this is my target system. In my source system, my vendor number is 74 times 05, and in my target system, vendor number is 16803. Right? So definitely there is a mapping required between the vendor. If the mapping is not available, if the system doesn't knows which vendor in the source system which will trigger the in which vendor in the target system, then definitely system will not be able to post. Okay, and we already remember that we already mapped the GL account from the source system to the target system, so that GL account is appearing here. So what I have done is this vendor also, this particular vendor I was testing before coming to this session. So I already assigned this vendor to the target vendor. Where can I check that? Where can I go and check whether this mapping of vendor is available or not? Is it a value mapping or a key mapping?
It's master data, so it will be value mapping, right? No, value is config, key mapping.
Key mapping, right? So if we go to SPRO, okay, and in financial, sorry, this is ECC. I need to be in S4. So if I go to SPRO, IMG, financial accounting, okay, central finance. Sorry, this is again ECC. This is also ECC. Where is S4? I think this one. Yeah, this is S4. So let's go to SPRO, financial accounting, central finance, target system, mapping, and key mapping. So if you go to this one, there is a mapping for vendor master data also, vendor numbers also. So I'll go to vendor. Okay, I'll select the vendor number here, or maybe you will be able to see the supplier. You can see supplier. Vendor and supplier is the same thing. So here business object type is supplier, but ultimately the object type is vendor. Object ID is vendor. Okay, and here I will enter the vendor number against which I want to. So this would be my source system. So I want to see this vendor in my source system is assigned to which vendor in the target system. So what is my source vendor here. My source vendor is 7 4 times 0 5. So 7 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and if I click on show, it will show me this vendor is assigned to which target vendor. You can see 16803, and this is exactly what is appearing in our transaction. Okay, so now let's do one thing. I will create a new vendor in my source system. Okay, so that you can get a complete understanding. I'll go to the transaction. Sorry, this is ECC. So in ECC, I will go to transaction XK01 to create a new vendor. Okay, and I'm not creating in the purchase organization. Let's say I'm not only doing from the accounting point of view. So company code CF01, and what was the account type group that we used last time? I'm using same, which is 0001. It uses external number range. So last time we have provided 70007. Let's say if it is already used. No, let me take this. No, it is not taking this account group. Do you remember which account group we took last time? Otherwise, let's go to SC16N LFA1 to check 700005. Execute. So it is using which account group? LIEF. Okay, so we will use the same group. Okay, so FK01 account group LIEF. This is my test vendor for CF01-2. So this is our second vendor. Whatever you want to provide, this will be, let's say, IN. Okay, and I'll just enter the reconciliation account. Other things are not required as of now. So reconciliation account, this one, cash management group, someone has made mandatory, so I'm just entering it. And actually just saving it. Okay, so this generate the vendor number. Now this vendor, which is the next number, 7 4 times 06, I want to post the transaction in this vendor and I want to replicate. So what will happen by default? If a vendor is created in your source system and it is not assigned to the target vendor, definitely it will result in error. The replication will result in error. So I'll go to transaction FB16. Okay, I'll select a vendor, the newly created vendor, which is ending with 6. Okay, and my invoice date. Okay, whatever is my amount. Okay, this is my corresponding GL account star, and I will provide the cost center. Okay, let's try to post this document. Now, question number 1, whether this is replicatable or not. Where I can go and check. I will go and check in the table itself. Okay, which table? ACCIT. So currently there are 22 line items. Let's try to refresh it. Now there are 24 line items. So you can see 2 lines have been added, and these lines are nothing but related to the document that we posted just now. But if I go to my target system, okay, if I go to my target system under the display document, okay, and if I try to do the same thing, if I just enter the logical system and try to execute it, enter. So you can see last document which is replicated is 4. We want to see whether the document ending with 5 has been replicated or not. But you can see it is not replicated, which means it is in error. If it is in error, where should we go and find out? We will go to AIF Monitor. So you will go to AIF Monitor using this transaction, and here you will be able to see all the documents which are in error. So it will show you the latest one in the sequence. So the last document, no, it is not showing in sequence, and that is the reason I normally recommend to go with date restrictions and just enter the date that you are looking for. So in our case, I am looking for 7th. Okay, and refresh. So now if you go here, you'll be able to see only the documents which are posted today and which are resulted in error. So currently it is only showing one document. It is not showing those documents which are successful. If I want to include those also, what should I do? I will say display all messages. Okay, let's double click now. It will show me the messages which are posted, and it will also show me the messages which are not posted. So you can see this is our general ledger document that we posted. This is our AP document, and this is our AP document which is resulted in error. So if I double click, what error I will get? What is the error here? Why this document is not getting replicated?
Vendor is not mapped.
Exactly. We have created a new vendor which is not mapped. So if I double click on this, it will clearly give me that message. You can see value 74x06 of type vendor number in the field vendor could not be mapped. System is not able to find out the target vendor, and that is the reason it is resulted in error. So what we should do, we have to go to the key mapping and we have to assign this vendor to the target vendor. Okay, so for that I will simply go here. Instead of 5, I will enter 6. Okay, show, and here I will click on add row. Okay, now as of now I have only one vendor, so I'm assigning the same vendor which I assigned to 5. But you understand, logically you need to create that that vendor in the system which belongs to this corresponding customer in the source system, and then only system will be able to post to that particular vendor. Okay, so I'm just selecting the same vendor because I just wanted to show you the concept. I know you understood that when it comes to the practical scenario, each and every vendor has to be created first in the source as well as target, and that is exactly where the MDG, the full-fledged MDG would be very useful. Otherwise, you have to create this master data in each and every system independently, right? So which one was assigned? If you go to the target system, okay, and if I double click on this, so 16803 is a vendor which I will assign here. Okay, once this is done, just save it, and once this is saved, you can see it is showing there are two vendors ending with 5 and 6, both are assigned to 16803. Completely fine. So now you can go to the error interface, and what you will do there is you will try to restart this job, restart this replication. Yes. Okay, and if you just do refresh and come here, you can see it is successful. How it is successful? Let's try to see. The document number ending with 3 has been created. So if I go to my document display once again, okay, and I maybe refresh this, or maybe I come again to this transaction, you can see which one is the latest one? This one, right? Yeah, number 3 has been created. So this is my source document number, and this is my target document number. So if you double click on this, see it is automatically taking the vendor number which we assigned in the key mappings, 16803. Right? If you go to this header, you'll be able to know that this document is actually coming from this document number which was posted in this company code in the ECC system, in the source system in short. Okay, is it clear now how to replicate the AP invoices? So technically there is no difference. The way how you replicate the GL, same way you'll be able to replicate the AP invoices also, but additionally the vendor number mapping is required. Clear on this? Any questions?
Vikram,
Yeah.
I have a question here. Like you are running this error handling monitor transaction code in Central Finance, and then let's say for some or other reason Central Finance system is down. Okay, how the ECC system will come to know that the document has an error and it is not posted to Central Finance?
Okay. See, in the source system also, we have a logging table. Let me show you. So I was about to come to that, but since you asked, good, let's talk about that. So if you remember, I shown you this SEAT last time, which is related to the this is what? This is target. Let's go to the source. Okay, this is my source system. So if I go to SEAT, if you remember, I shown you that there is a package relevant to central finance in your source system. Once you activate that business function, and when you activate the relevant SAP nodes, this package will be able to see in your source system. Now, in this package, there are many different objects. Okay, so let's talk about the tables. So there are tables which are called as logging tables. Okay, you can see this log of ACCHD1, log of ACCHD2. Similarly, from cost objects, there are two tables. For controlling documents, CO documents, also there are logging tables. So you can see two logging tables per replication object. So what is happening currently? I'm going to AIF Monitor, and you can see these are nothing but my replication objects. See this doc1, doc2, similarly controlling document 1, controlling document maybe 2, and cost object replication also. So what happens is whenever a document is posted, until the time this document is not replicated, see how the system will know. Just think about this.
It should have a backward message from the SLT, right?
Yes. So no, it is not a backward message actually. It is, I'll show you what exactly will work. See, this is your transfer table. Right? One is your transfer table and one is your logging table. Okay, let's assume in our case, what is our transfer table? It is CFIN underscore ACC HD and CFIN underscore ACC IT. We already know this transfer tables, right? These are the tables from where the data will be replicated to the central finance system. But the question is, which data will be replicated? So what is the triggering event? Can you tell me what is the triggering event in SLT? When the system will replicate the data? It is real time. Real time means immediately or as soon as document is posted in the source system. Am I right? So currently also we posted few documents, and as soon as the document is posted, the data is triggering the event which is transferring the data to the target system, right? So this triggering event, what it will do is whenever any document is posted in the source system, that data will be stored in the logging table. For example, let's assume in our case we have created a document in the source system. What is the document number in our source system? So this is the document number, the last one that we have seen, this one. So I'll copy this document number, and this table will hold this number only till the time it is not replicated. Once it is replicated, this table will be blank. So if I go to this logging table now, if I show you this logging table, I have not opened. Okay, which is that logging table? So in case of accounting, this one, CFIN log ACC HD2. Let me CFIN log ACC HD2. Let me open this table in the source system itself. So log ACC HD2. Okay, and try to execute this. You can see few characters. It is not showing all the data. It is just storing that whether any document is still available in the logging table which is not replicated till now. Right? So till the time the data is not replicated, it will get stored in this table. So coming to your question, Adam, if I posted a document in ECC system, in my source system, and due to some reason, it is not replicated to the target system. It is not error. If it is an error, it is replicated already. It is in the error monitoring.
Yeah.
But if it is still not triggered itself, it is still not triggered to be created in the target system. Let's assume that you said the target system is down and even the error handling will not work. So in that case, till that time, you will be able to see the data here. And as soon as your target system is up, automatically whatever logging activities have been created in this table will be triggered and you will be able to see in the error monitor.
So that means that the central finance system is sending some messages back to ECC internally, right?
No. It is not sending the messages. See, understand this. Source system is sending the message to the central finance system.
Yeah.
So this is my logging table, which will send the message to the central finance. But if the central finance is down, then this is not able to send the message, and that is the reason it will stay here itself.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And if SLT is down,
if SLT is down, then you will be able to see this thing in the like it is a technical thing there. So see, in our case, what is happening? Let's assume this LTRC is down. Let's say this, you can see here we have created this object, and let's assume the replication is not active or something like this. Then it is actually the technical call. What they need to do is you will tell them that my object is not getting replicated. So they can come here in the application logs, or they can come here in the data transfer monitors, and they can see why it is failed. So you can see it is a failure here. So for example, I was yesterday trying to replicate the cost object. Let me show you. So in the cost object, there is something wrong in the SLT, and that is the reason I am getting this error.
okay.
Right? So this error will be taken care by your SLT consultant. It is not a functional error.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Vikram, this SLT does not hold the messages. Like if central finance is down, then it will not try to push the messages like 10 times. There is some cycle always fix whenever we design any landscape. We always decide that okay, for how many times the source system will try to send the messages. If it fails for 10 times, then you will get the error like in the AIF or somewhere.
Yes. Even if you want to go with the mailing, like if the event is triggered, but due to some reason it failed, even you can ask your technical consultant to get a mail from the system also. The error monitoring, many times when you are working on this interface world, if something goes wrong, if your job is not executed properly, you get an automatic mail, right? The system tried to post this document, but it failed. So those kind of things also can be done.
Okay.
But that is completely technical, Adam. So that is, you have to ask your SLT team to handle in that way.
Okay, understand.
So going back, Vikram, going back to the log table. So that log table is more like a holding area, right? If something is not processed properly, then it's hold it, and it's tied back with a GUI ID with that, right? If I wanna, right?
Yeah. Let me show you one practical scenario. As I told you, currently AIFK is not working. So I'll show you how the data is still available in AIFK because it is not able to replicate. So I will go to SE16N, and for log of AUFK, or maybe AUFK2. No, oh sorry, this is COBK. Just give me a minute. So what are the other tables here? Where is the object? This one. So AUFK1. Yeah, these two are correct. Is it triggered now? Yesterday I was able to see some data here, which means my AUFK was not getting triggered. So I was able to see the data here. So yeah, just to answer your question, not to confuse you, This is a logging table. This will hold the data till the time it is not replicated to the target system. So this is a logging table which is telling the system which data needs to be loaded, which is still not loaded. So the data will be available here only during that time where the data is posted in the source but not replicated to the target. Once it is replicated to the target, again this table will be blank.
So basically all the transport table has a logging table, basically.
Yes. All the three objects are the logging tables.
Okay, and those all how they tie back to each other. So example, I see the order number is here. So order number will be the key that tie back with the transport table, right? If something is failed.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You'll be able to see the order number.
Got it. And what about how this is reprocessed automatically? I mean, example, CFN system is up and running. How the event will gonna trigger again? So like
Okay.
a SLT, just do that behind the scenes something magic here to read this table permanently, or how this thing works?
Right. See, first thing, just to answer your question, you can see this is the order number. AUFNR, this is the order number field. So if you
Yep.
want to see which order is not triggered, you can come here and you can see. Now, second thing, as I told you, that is a real-time activity. Every time if there is any data available in my log table, that will get replicated automatically. So there is no event. Event is the triggering event is the data availability in the logging table. If the data is there in the logging table, that itself is an event that it needs to be replicated.
But if the target system is not available, the
No,
data
as
will
soon
gonna hold it in this area.
as soon as the target system is available, this will try to keep on pushing the data to the target system. So
Okay.
as soon as the target system is available, immediately the data will be posted.
Okay, got it. Okay, so I was just thinking, hey, do we need to do any subsequent step or something in order to push this data? Seems like it's
No.
automatic.
No, this should be automatic. Although this is a technical step, but I'm 99% sure there is no other activity that you need to do. This will be automatic. Okay. So, yeah. Now coming to what about the payments? We have created the vendor invoice, or maybe if you want, I will show you one customer invoice before I go to the payment part. So same thing I will do. I will go to transaction FB70 and I will enter a customer. So I think the customer that we created last time was this. Okay, whatever amount you want to enter and whatever GL you want to use. I'm using the same GL, although it is expense, but we are not worried about the GL. We are worried about the functionality. So cost center, I may need to enter because it is a cost element. Okay, and let's try to save it. Now this is my customer accounting document, which I posted, which is triggered with 18 all time 01. Now if I want to see whether this document is posted in my target system or not, so again I will need to go to the target system. Okay, so this is my target system. I will go to FB03. There is some background noise. Can you just mute yourself, all of you? If you have any questions, you can just unmute. Yeah. Okay. So I will enter the logical system and try to execute. And I want to know whether that document starting with 18 has been replicated or not. It is not replicated. Okay, if it is not replicated, my first impression is I will go to the error monitor and I will see what is wrong. So I'll come to the interface monitor, try to refresh this. So see, you can see now 3 has become 4. Let's double click here and see, you can see it is in error. What is the error? Let's try to double click here. So error number one is general ledger account master data. For which GL account? Let's double click. You can see the GL account is 2001, which is a customer reconciliation account. So system is not able to find GL account mapping for 2001, which is a customer reconciliation account. Okay, let's try to see. Normally reconciliation accounts should come from the customer master data, but this
Right,
error,
that's what I was thinking.
yeah, exactly. So the reconciliation account should come from the customer master data, but even our customer master data is also not mapped. So let's try to map the customer first and see whether this error is vanishing or not. So I will assign this customer to the target customer. I don't think I have created any customer in my target system. So let me create one. So I'll go to transaction BP to create a new customer. So new organization, grouping, I'm not sure which ones I used last time, because based on the grouping, system will take the numbers and the roles. Okay, I'm just trying this. Someone has created CFIN. We are not created, but someone has created at least. We can try, and our role for customer is FLCU00. For vendor, it is FLVN01, sorry, 00, but for customer, it is FLCO00. Have you posted any document in the target system? Let me see. Any AR related document have you posted already in CF03?
No, not with the same company code.
Yeah, not, because I cannot see anything DR. So we are not created any customer. Let's create it. So customer is where? I think I closed. So BP, new organization. This group is fine, and I want to create under FLCU00. Create it. It's a company. This is my test customer for CF03. Okay, CF03. I'm just providing some address.
Just curious, Vikram, why we are creating that customer is not, why is not a business partner?
Sorry?
Why we are creating that customer? Why is not a business partner?
No, it is a business partner itself.
Oh, business partner. Oh, got it. Oh, I see that screen now. Oh, it was very similar. Sorry for that. No, I see that.
It is S4 HANA, so we need to create a business partner. Yeah, right.
I see that. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go to company code, and obviously I think even the reconciliation account we must have not created till now. Okay, so if I try F4, you can see it is not created. So quickly let me create the AR GL account. So FS00 balance sheet. I can create maybe 200001. 200001 has already been created. Oh, okay. Yes, 1, 2, 3 is already created. So I need to create 4. 4. This is going to be my balance sheet account. Account group is also going to be balance sheet. This is AR control data. This is reconciliation account for customer. And this is G067 for reconciliation accounts. Sorry, here you know it is not G, YB67. Okay, so this account I need to map. Sorry, this account I need to provide in my customer master data. So now if I do F4, this is account which I can map. Let's try to press enter. This grouping which we used is using the external number assignment. Let's try to enter some number here. So numbers should be from 28, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 6. So 28, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's try to save it. Postal code city is mandatory. Save. Payment terms are also mandatory. So where is payment term? Payment term 0001. AR pledging indicator. I don't know who made it mandatory, but let's do that. It is not going to harm us in any way. CF0. No, maybe this grouping that we are using is having a lot of fields which are different. Okay, so let me quickly, otherwise it will create a lot of confusion. Okay, if you are not aware about this config, this is all related to the business partner. I have also a video on this on YouTube channel. You can watch that, but as of now, let me just quickly solve this. So cross application components, business partners, business partner, master data synchronization, customer vendor integration, business partner settings for customer. So here, let me create a, or let's use the existing one itself, but I will use the standard one. So, or maybe it will unnecessarily create an issue. I will create a new business partner number and grouping from scratch, because otherwise unnecessarily we will get a lot of errors. So define a new grouping. I'm creating this as, let's say, CF03. Okay, number range, I'm taking the existing one, which is already there. So I'll go with this one. Okay, so my BP grouping has been created and I will assign this BP grouping to the existing customer account group. So new CF03, and I want to assign it to the standard one, which is, oh, it is not showing 0001 at all. So even I need to create a customer account group. So you know how to create a customer account group, right? In ECC itself, same. So AP and AR, customer accounts, master data, preparation, and create a new customer account group. CF03, CF03, all other things I'm keeping as it is, not making any changes. And then I need to assign my account group to the number range. So CF03, I am assigning to number range, maybe whatever is available. So, or maybe let's see if 01 is available. Save 01. Yeah, it's available, so no problem. Okay, and then last one, I will assign my BP grouping to customer account group. So CF01 would be assigned to CF01. CF03, sorry, we created CF03 to CF03. Okay, let's try to save it now. And let's try to use this new grouping that we created in our business partner master data creation. So transaction BP, organization, we should be able to see our own BP grouping, and I want to use FLCU00 role. Okay, let's go to company code. Let's try to save it. Payment term is still mandatory. Oh, I don't know who made this thing also mandatory. AR pledging indicator. So maybe some advanced functionality they have activated here. Is there anything? Accounts receivable pledging indicator. Let me see if this can be controlled from the customer account group that we created. This is unnecessary pain of using the shared systems. So this one and CF03, sorry. And within this, what data it is asking, which tab? Customer payment transactions. So company code, payment transactions. Is it mandatory from here? Pledge indicator. Pledging indicator, it is optional from here. Let's maintain it otherwise. So where we need to maintain this? This is something related to the other functionalities, not direct FI. Pledging indicator. So we have to create that pledging indicator in our company, but this has nothing to do with the scenario that we are looking at. I'll just quickly create this so that we are able to go further. Yes, so I will just copy this to my company code, which is CF03, so that we are getting rid of that error. Okay, so now I think it should work. Let's try to save. No transfer of intervals. Okay, let's do one thing. I think this customer unnecessarily, it will take a lot of time. So what I'll do is I'll create a customer and then replication part I'll show you in the next session. But whatever we have done till now, AP, at least we should understand how the payment part will work in AP. So we understood the invoice. Let's see what will be the impact once you make the payment to this particular AP invoice. Right? Same will work for AR also, but only for AR I need to create a customer. Without customer, we'll not be able to replicate anything. Or maybe one last try I can do is I can extend the already created customer. So the customer which is already created, I will just extend it to my company code. Okay, so maybe the company codes which are already there. So let's take this customer one, for example, and I will try to extend this customer to my company code. So change mode, company codes. I want to create a new company, which is CF03. Okay, and as a customer, adopt payment terms, pledging indicator we created just now, and the reconciliation account. Okay, it worked. So which means we can use this customer, we can map this customer to our source customer. So I will go to this one. Here I need to go for customer. Okay, this is my customer. I think this link got expired. So let me open this link once again from IMG. Key mapping. So IMG, financial accounting, central finance, target system, mapping, key mapping, and create and edit the key mappings. Okay, so here I need to map the customer. So I'll select a customer from here. Okay, it is ERP customer ERP. So this is a description. Don't worry about whether it is ERP, what exactly is ERP and all. So what is my source customer number? It is 90000000001. Okay, this is my source customer, I think. Okay, if you want to verify, you can go to the document that we posted. Okay, let's go to document and display. You can see this one. This is our customer, which we want to map to the customer that we created just now, which is 106. So what I'll do, if it is showing, yeah, why it is showing this? Because we have to select the source client here. Our source business system is EPX. Okay, and then if you try to click on show, you can see key mapping does not exist. So I'll click on add row, and here I will enter my target system, which is development client 400, and here I will enter 106. Try to save it. So now my source customer is also assigned to my target customer, which means if I go to error monitor now and try to restart, the error which is related to the customer, which is still not appearing here, but customer will be automatically taken from the system. Let's try. Okay, let's try to refresh it and go to this one. You can see still there is an error. Let's double click on this. You can see it is still asking you the general ledger master data. Okay, which means I just wanted to show you, which means even if your customer master is already assigned, if your customer and GL, these are two separate master data. So your GL account also needs to be mapped. So your all reconciliation accounts from your source system, they must be assigned to the reconciliation accounts to the target system also. Okay, so this error will only go when you assign this 2001 to the reconciliation account in the target system. Okay, so again the key mapping. You will come here, you will select the GL, which is general account master data. Here you will enter your CF01.
Vikram,
Okay, and GL account which you are using is 2001.
Vikram, I have a question here.
Company code CF01.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, one thing.
Hello, can you hear
This
me?
AIF doesn't allow to edit the message.
It allows. It
Like
allows,
for,
and there is a control.
okay. For instance, like we map the cost center X to X, whereas Y is not mapped, but because of the month end, we don't want to map it again, and we just want to change the message, the cost center from X to Y to X. Can it be possible? Just a hypothetical question.
Yes, it is very much possible. If you remember, I told you previously also that whenever there is an emergency, and in the emergency you don't want to trigger the message again. You don't want to. Simple. Let's assume that you are an end user and you are not authorized to change the mapping. Okay, but it is very critical month-end activity, and you don't want to go to the mapping now, and you just want to make sure that this document is posted. So in the error correction tool itself, if that field is modifiable, okay, only those fields which are modifiable are allowed to be changed. So for example, let's see if this field is allowed to be modified or not. So for example, the general ledger account, if I want to change it, okay, so you can see the error is here. So I will select it, and maybe I'll try to from here you'll be able to search and replace. You can see select those columns whose content can be edited. Okay, if you open this, see what it is saying. You selected the columns rows that cannot be edited. That is the reason the search and replace function does not work. Select those columns that can be edited. You can define the changeable fields in the customizing application under interface framework under the namespace specific features. So maybe if you go here, and if you, so for this namespace, you have only display authorization. So normally this is also controlled by your AIF, which is your technical team. But let's see the display access also. So here, this is a place where you will be able to define the changeable fields. Okay, so for accounting document, for controlling document, so let's go for the accounting document interface. Here you will go to the changeable fields, and this is where you will be able to specify which fields can be edited. Okay, so in short, to answer your question, it is very much possible, but not all the fields. Those fields which you want to be allowed to be edited, you have to tell to your technical consultant, and based on that, they will make the configuration.
Okay, that's good thing. Thank
Yeah.
you.
But I think this I maintained wrong. It should be CF03, not CF01.
Vikram, one more question regarding this though. The same screen you're showing. So
Yes.
this is a customer mapping. Why we have a GL account here?
No. We customer mapping we already done. Now we are mapping the GL. So GL customer both are master data, right?
But it's saying, can you click again?
Where?
Same screen you open that. Can you do that again?
Sorry. What you want me to do it again?
Can you click that again? The previous screen that you were showing it earlier.
Okay, previous you mean to say that.
This a small window was showing up here.
Okay, here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. See, it's saying key mapping customer 900001, and underneath is saying chart of account, GL account, and company code.
Yes. This is wrong because I think this is taking the first one, what we already mapped.
Oh, it's just like a screen is wrong. Okay, got it.
Yeah, this is definitely wrong. The description is definitely wrong because we already, maybe let's try to save and then see. So it is still not refreshed or something like it. Let's see. No, it is still showing this one. This is wrong. You are right.
Okay.
Good observation.
Okay. And again, why we are which GL account we are mapping?
We are mapping the reconciliation to reconciliation.
Why we need to map the reconciliation to reconciliation?
That is a problem.
Because we are mapping the customers, right?
Yes. There are a lot of such, Farooq, there are a lot of such things. I'll tell you, in the central finance, it is still the developing product. It is still not 100%. We cannot say it is everything is available in central finance. There are many things. Even what we are discussing now, the clearing entries. These clearing entries were not possible previously. You go to the initial versions of central finance, it was a very difficult task to talk about the payments part. I'll come to that. As of now, let's continue. I'll tell you what are the restrictions.
Sure.
Let's try to save. So changes are already saved, which means now if I go to my interface monitor, I closed it, maybe here. Yeah, so let's go back, and here. So now if I try to restart the message, okay, and try to refresh once again, still showing error. Let's see what is the error now. Now it is coming to the customer, but customer we already mapped, right? Customer is not defined. Which customer we mapped? We mapped 106, right?
We did not created this customer in CF03 in the target system.
No, but which one we mapped? We mapped the source system. Okay, let's see. So our customer, and we provided customer number 9, this one, right? Show. It is assigned to 106, then why it is going for?
But it's saying 9001 is not created in the target system.
Exactly, but I'm not telling the target. See, this is my source. In the target, I want 106. Are you getting it? So it is not taking this mapping, which means maybe in the mapping entities, the setting is keep data. Let's see. Are you getting it?
Yep.
Let's see in the mapping entities. I think it has kept as keep data for customer. Yes. Can you see this? What it should be?
It should be mapped. Something.
Yeah. data means it will never go and check the mapping. So we can say map if possible, or maybe mapping obligatory.
Yeah.
So whatever is required, you can do it, and then you try to execute once again, restart once again. So again select, restart, yes, refresh it. Finally, it is posted. Okay, so system is now able to identify the customer also, which means if I go to my target system and if I enter FB03 document list with logical system and execute. So you can see document type DR, this one, document type DR has been created, and if I double click on this, you can see system is taking 106. Let's see the general ledger view. System is taking the same GL that we provided. Okay, let's try to do one thing. I also wanted to verify whether this has been resolved or this issue is still there, because I was under impression that GL will come automatically. Initially there were some issues, but now it should have come automatically. Let's try to do one thing. I will remove the GL mapping, okay, for the GL account which was 2001. So yeah, here I need to enter. So CF01 and then GL account 2001 and CF01 again. Okay, show. Okay, and I want to delete these two entities. Click on OK and make sure that you save it. Okay, and now I will trigger another document. Maybe I'll copy it. So F-02 and I want to do the post with reference. Same kind of document. Let's try to save. So document number 2 has been posted. Let's go to the error interface. Try to refresh this. So it has become 5. It is still in error. So it is still asking for general ledger account, right? Which means it is still important that the customer mapping is not enough. You also need to specify the general ledger account. Although I also understand that this should not be the case. Our customer account, if he already provided, system should automatically take the reconciliation account of the customer. And even if you try to provide the wrong account, if that is not a reconciliation account assigned to the customer, then also it will result in error. So there is no worry in terms of the consistency of the system, but there is a worry that the extra step that you need to perform in terms of mapping the general ledger entities. Okay, so now let's talk about the payments. Now the question is, we have created the invoice. We have created the AP invoice in our source system. So this is our source. This is our target. We have created a AP invoice which is open here. And as soon as the invoice is replicated to the target, again it would remain open here. Now the question is where you will make the payment. You will make the payment in source, or you will make the payment in target, or in both, or what exactly? What do you think? What should be the right approach?
As soon as the whole purpose to bringing the open AP or open AR to the target system to make a payment, otherwise we don't need to.
No. That is not the whole purpose. The whole purpose is to get a consolidated report, because if I have 10 different systems, okay, the purpose is not to just to make the payment from one system. The purpose is to bring the data from all 10 systems so that you are able to even generate the open item report at the group level.
But Vikram, we're still getting the balance sheet, even though the source system make the payment. Still, we are getting the balances as a GL, as a GL items cleared those items. So
no,
as a GL, it will be okay.
No. You are saying that if I make the payment in the source system, my target system will still show the open line item. Is it?
No, what I'm saying is, Vikram, if we are bringing the open AP or open AR to the target system, it's mean we want to make a payment from the central finance system. That's what I'm saying.
No, not necessarily. Not
Why you want to
necessarily.
bring? Why you want to bring it? Yeah.
Our purpose is not to make the central payment. That is definitely one advantage. If you can maintain all your payments from the target system, that is definitely one of the advantage. But that is not the whole purpose. The whole purpose is to bring the data from all these source systems into one target system, so that at any point of time, if I want to generate the consolidated report, I can generate it. So it is completely fine if the source system wants to make their own payments.
So maybe I'm not able to explain to you. So let me try that again. So
Yeah.
we have open APs in the source system. We are bringing.
Okay, let's take an example. This is open line item number 1. This is open line item number 2. This is open line item number 3 in my source. Okay. Now, as soon as these documents are replicated in the target also, I will have open item numbers 1, open item number 2, and open item number 3. Yeah. What is your next thing?
So my next thing is why we need to, if we are not making a payment in the target system, why we bring the open AP to the central finance system? That's my question is.
Okay. See, let me enter here source system. So you can see from my source system, this is my source system 1. This is my source system 1. So let's say these 3 items belongs to source system 1. Then I have source system 2, source system 2, again source system 3. Okay, and then I have a lot of open items. So this is open item number 1 from the source system 2. This is open line item 2 from the source system 2, and this is my open line item from source system 3. So ultimately, all are replicating to my target system. So at the group level, if I want to know what is my total liability, I can do this very easily. That is the first benefit of central finance. Forget about payment at this stage. If I want to know what is my total liability, if I don't have the target system, then each and every system has to see their liability individually. Do you think this is a benefit that I'm getting the consolidated report in the target system? Forget about the payment at this stage.
Yeah, I don't agree with you. So let me tell you the reason. Because remember, we are still bringing the open GL, right? All the GL item we are still bringing in. So the main purpose is, I totally agree, consolidated reporting place, right? But for that purpose, it's not necessary to bring the open AP over there. We can still bring the GL balances that is coming in. Open AP, bringing the open AP and GL balances mean we gonna pay the clear the liability from the target system as well. Even it's not a reality.
Let me tell you why you need to bring the open items in the target system. Even if you are not making the payment from here, how it will help you. So you are saying that I am not bringing my let's say you are saying that if I'm not making the payment from the target system, there is no point in bringing the open items. Am I correct?
Absolutely. If we can put some GL account, one GL account balance here, and then a liability account balance here, and then move the only GL balance here, and then you will see its balance system. You don't need to bring the open AP.
Okay, let me give you one scenario.
One thing. Can I just
Nikhil, just 1 minute. Otherwise, it will completely confuse the thing. I just want to ask one question to Farooq. Maybe he will get the answer. So Farooq, let's assume
wanted to comment here.
you are.
So
Nikhil, just one.
You are bringing that balance here. Okay.
Nikhil,
so the moment the balance in the, where are you making the payment from? Source or target?
No, Nikhil, just give me a minute. I'll give you the chance. Just give me a minute.
Hello.
Are you able to hear me?
Able to hear you, yes.
Okay, Nikhil, just give me a minute. Let me complete this point and then I'll give you the time.
Sure.
Yeah. So Farooq, you are saying that let's assume I'm not making the payment from here. Okay, payment is not happening from the target system. Now, if I ask you, can you tell me the cash position at the group level? Is it possible? If I just bring the GL balances in my target system, can I see my
Yeah.
cash position in the target system?
Absolutely. We will be bringing the balance sheet of whole trial balance we are bringing in to the central finance system. Yes.
No, I'm talking about cash position. Balance sheet is fine. My cash position, what is my cash position?
But if the item is open, you have not paid that, so it's not impacted.
No. You know what is cash position? Cash position means I wanted the forecasted cash position for next 1 month.
Right. And then the liabilities are still sitting here, right, in the source system, in the GL account. So all the reconciliation account has a liability,
No.
right?
See, Farooq, in the liability GL account, do we have the due date?
So
If I just
just
bring
for
the
the
balance in the GL account,
so you are saying just to use the liquidity management or the forecasting, we need the open APs. That's
no,
only
I'm just giving one example. That is not the only thing. I'm just giving one example. There are a lot of such things. I'm just giving you one example that if I want to use central functions, see, there are a lot of central functions. Central payment is one of that. There are a lot of other central functions that I can perform, even if my payment is not happening from the from the target system. If I'm looking for the group level reporting, there can be a lot of things which I can do. I can do the consolidated cash management. I can do the consolidated group level reporting. I can do disputes management in the central finance system. I can do collections management in the central finance system. So if I'm not getting the open items, how will I do other things? Payment is just one part.
yeah, but it's a total overhead to bringing the open item in a two places without managing the payment. I mean, you could be right. I'm not saying that it's incorrect, but for cash management perspective, I agree with you. For the liquidity and forecasting perspective, I agree with you. But
Just
why?
one example. As I told you, that is just one example. So if a company is, see, I'm not saying what is wrong or what is right. I'm just telling you it is not necessary. I'm just saying you that central payment is not mandatory for central finance. Central finance has lot of other purposes apart from the central payment. Central payment is definitely one of the very good functionality. If a company is using central finance, they should go for central payment. That is not a case. But I'm saying it is not mandatory. There are a lot of other things also which you can get from the central finance, even if the payment is made in the source system. That is what I'm trying to say.
So Vikram, I did not say that is mandatory central payment. What I said that as soon as you bring the open item to the target system, it's just a waste of resources. We are bringing the open item. We are not managing the central payment from there. That's what I was meant.
Again, I'm not agreeing to this because you are saying it is a overhead. But think about this cash position example that I gave you. Do you still think it is a overhead? Otherwise, how will I get my group level cash management? If I don't have everything available at one place, I will not be able to generate my cash position reporting. That is also very important for me.
So that's the only point I agree with you. But the group level reporting is not impacted. I think anyway.
No problem. Okay, so no problem. Let's put it in this way. Central payment is not mandatory. Even from SAP point of view, central payment is not mandatory, and there are a lot of other functions from the group reporting point of view, from the cash management point of view, which can add the benefit of bringing the data into the central finance system. So central payment, just remember, it is not mandatory at all. It is up to the customer whether they want to make the payment from the source system or they want to make the payment from the target system. If you are going for making the payment from the target system, then in central finance, addition to the central finance, you need to activate central payment functionality.
And that will then go and update source system also.
Exactly. I'll come to that. So maybe
that was exactly what I was going to
right.
I think Firoz, right? Firoz's point.
Farooq, yeah.
If we are bringing the open items, you will have to bring the open items is what I feel, because the moment you make whether you are using central, suppose you are not using central finance, central payments, then when you make the payment in the source system, that payment will automatically be triggered here because of the SLT in central finance, right?
Definitely, yes.
So
So
then
that is
you
a
have to make
system.
the
There
open,
are
because
different scenarios.
otherwise you will, the source and a target will not be in sync.
Definitely, yes.
I mean,
So let me tell you what are the
apart from the
different
cash
scenarios.
position example, this, it has to, you have to have the open item, because otherwise your reporting will be haywire.
Right. So it will only remain your consolidated system. You will be able to get the GL level information, but you will not be able to get any other
Correct.
detail level information if you are not bringing the open items to the target system. But yes, if a customer says, yes, I don't have any problem, I only want to replicate the balances, or I only want to, I'm not going to use any other functionality. Maybe in that case, yes, but otherwise, that is not a purpose of central finance. In central finance, normally we migrate all the open items to the target system. But again, there are some scenarios which I wanted to introduce now. So, scenario number one. Scenario one is you are creating AP invoices, create AP invoice, or maybe AP invoice in source, and it is replicated as it is in target system. So AP invoice in target. So when you create a AP invoice, that is exactly what we have done. We have created a AP invoice and it has been triggered as a AP invoice in target. So in our target now open items are available. If I show you this document that we just now posted, this is what? This is exactly the customer AR item which is replicated as it is in the central finance, right? So this is first scenario. What will happen at the time of payment? Whenever you make the payment, AP payment in source will automatically trigger AP payment in target. So which means in this scenario, what you are doing is payment in, actual payment is happening in source system. So this is scenario number one, in which you are not using central payments. You are making the payments also in your source system, and immediately it is triggering to the target system. Scenario number two is payments in central finance. And this is called as central payment scenario. Okay, so this is source, this is in target. So here what will happen is AP invoice in source, this will automatically cleared, auto cleared. It will not show you open, but as soon as it is posted, it is replicated in the target system as open item. It will remain as open item. Okay, and payment, there will not be any corresponding payment entry in the source system because you are directly making the payment in the target system. So payment part will come only in the target system. Okay, and when the payment would be done, it will be cleared. So this is central payment scenario. Okay, so these are the two options available for the customers, whether they want to use the they want to make the payment in the source system or they want to make the payment in the central finance system. So first one, what I'm showing you is this one, payment in the source system. We already created an invoice. I'm now making the payment to the vendor, and that payment should automatically get triggered in my target, and my AP open invoice should be automatically cleared. Okay, and then we will talk about the central payment scenario. Okay, so currently if I go to my, maybe there are a lot of screens, I just want to getting confused, so let's log off and try to open again. Maybe this is fine. This is what, target or source? This is source. So in my source system, if I go to FPL1N, okay, and my vendor, I think this is correct. Let's see what is the total open, let's talk about this line. This line is open for 1000 in my source system. I will open the target system now. Okay, and again I'll go to FBL1N, and which vendor I assign to this one. Let's see, F4 and select by company code. In our case, company code is CF03 in the target system. So this is our vendor 16803 CF03, and let's try to execute. So I think this one, these are the older ones. We don't need to worry about this. Let's talk about this invoice. So this invoice here in the source system, okay, and let's verify that this invoice which we are looking in the target system belongs to the same invoice in the source system. How can I verify that? You can see this. This is coming from the source system. So what I want to do is, in the source system here, I will try to clear this invoice, and immediately I want to see whether this is automatically triggering this invoice to be cleared in the target system or not, right? Even this functionality was not available in the previous initial versions of Central Finance. It was kind of very difficult to manage the payments. So there were a lot of activities which were required to reach at this stage. But now, at least if you are making the payment in the source system, it will automatically clear the invoice in the target system. Okay, let's try to do that. So this is my source. I will go for F-53 to make a payment. Okay, account, from which bank account I want to make the payment. So I'm selecting this bank account. I want to make the payment of 1000. Value date might be mandatory, or maybe let's ignore. If it is mandatory, it will ask. And to which account I want to make the payment. So 700005 or 6. In my case, it is 6, I think. Let's try to process open items. Is this source or target? This is target. This is wrong. Where is my source? This is source. Let's go to F-53. Okay, so CF01, this is my account. I want to pay this amount from this particular one. So this is exactly what I want to clear. Document number 5. Okay, let's try to save it. Document has been posted, which means if I go to FBL5N now, sorry, FBL1N now, which is vendor line items, and try to see, everything is cleared. All items, you can see this line item has been cleared with this payment. Right, same thing I wanted to see in my target system now. So let's go to the target system, and again, if I open FBL1N, execute, you can see that line is gone. Okay, if I go for all line items, I want to see that line item which is ending with 3, this one. You can see it has been paid with this one, I think. Yes, you can see the clearing document. So this is a document which just got generated. Okay, which is this one, this document. If I click on header, you can see this is coming as a payment document from the source system. This payment document we posted in the source system, and it automatically triggered the document in the target system, and even it has cleared the line item in the target system. Understood this one?
Yep. And Vikram, about where we gonna manage the bank statement though? Normally is the central finance or the source system?
No, I'll come to that. Farooq, the thing is, there are the options available to the customers, whether they want to manage the central functions or not. So when we tell the central functions, if you want to make the payments from the central system, if you want to do the period end closing only in the central finance system, so those are the options available, whether you will carry out all these functions in your source system and it will trigger to the central finance, or you are going to do these functions directly in the central finance.
Okay. And one more question, Vikram. One more question here. So example, the scenario give that for making a vendor payment, whether example that payment is a check payment. We want to void the check. When we not reversing the payment, voiding the check. How would that reflect when we void the check? Would that reflect the new check number in the target system as well?
Yes, whatever changes you will do in your source system, even the document level change, it will reflect in the target system also. Let's try to do that. Let me try to show you one simple example of the change that I make in the source system. So where exactly you will capture the check information?
I think it's if you go back to the target system and then bring the clear item or source system, whatever is that, bring the clear item with the vendor line. It should has the with the clear item from the environment and from there.
Okay, so let me try to do a simple change in my source document and see whether that is getting reflected in my target system or not. So this is my document that we just now posted, which is my payment document. What I'll do is simply I will try to see which field I can change here. Yeah, value date. So or maybe assign. Let's say test 1.
That's right.
Okay, and try to save it. Now if I go to my target system, which is this one, and try to, obviously this will only work if my replication for the change document is active, but let's hope it is active. And if I go to this one, can you see this?
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Vikram,
So whatever
even it's not dependent on the document.
what will happen?
Sorry, Adam. Can you come again?
If you reset the clearing document in source system,
it should automatically reset here also. It will happen. So first of all, whether it will allow you to reset here in the central finance system or not. Maybe first we will see resetting in the source system. So I will go to the source system. This is my source. So if I go to FPRA and if I try to reverse and reset, only reset or reverse and reset?
only reset because we don't want to reverse.
Cleared items.
It's doing it. Actually.
Then we should be able to see 2 documents in central finance, isn't it? And
both open. As
yeah,
of now
both.
also we're able to see 2, but those are cleared.
Yeah.
Only resetting.
Oh, you're doing that in the source system, Vikram.
Yes.
That's what.
Yes, Farooq. I'm showing in the source. We will see whether it is reflecting in the target or not.
Okay. But we cannot do from the target.
Let's try. So the thing is, simple. If you are handling everything, payments, clearing, everything in the source system, then you will even not give the authorization to anyone in the target system because it is just for the reporting there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But if you are doing this in the target system, then it will not come back to the source. So whatever activities you do in the target, that will never get reconciled with your source.
Yep.
Right? Okay. So if I go to FBL1N, try to execute, when you see this, it is reset in the target also.
Oh, awesome.
These are the 2 lines. This and this, I think. This and this. Okay, now coming to, let's try to create one more payment and then we will see whether we are able to reset here or not in the target. So although even if we are able to do it, normally we don't provide the access to anyone to do that. But still, let's see technically it is allowing or not. So what I'll do is I will go to.
But first you have to clear it again, right?
No, I'm creating another document.
Okay.
Or I can clear it again, that is also fine. Okay, let's do the clearing instead of creating a new document. So what I'll do is I will go to vendor. Do you remember the T code for vendor clearing?
F
dash
clear. Okay. So vendor number is 700006. and let's try to process open items. Let's try to save it. Okay, so clearing document again has been posted, and I can see first in FBL1N whether it is cleared or not. So it is cleared. Okay, it is cleared. Let's see in the target. This is my target system. Let's try to execute. It is cleared here also. Right? Now, once it is cleared, what you want me to try is try resetting or reversing here, right? Reverse we already tried, if you remember. We already tried the reversing the document and we got an error that you cannot reverse it here. You remember?
Yeah.
So let's try to reset, and you can see is not a clearing document. Okay, let's say why it is not a clearing document. It is actually the clearing document, but let's see in FBL1N all items, and this one we posted this and then we cleared with
11.
11 or this one. This one is a clearing, right?
No,
I think this one
clearing
is
document number is
7,
coming
right?
here.
It is 7, so it should be 11, right?
Yeah.
okay.
clearing
Sorry, this one. I think
Right.
this one. But clearing document is 11. I think it has generated another document. You can see clearing document is generated. So this is ultimately the clearing document. Now this
Exactly.
confusion is because, yeah, this
Exactly.
confusion is because we reset it and we again have done the clearing. But if it is 1:1, then normally this document will appear in the clearing. But anyways, let's try to use this and try to reset. So FBRA and try to enter this here. It is allowing resetting. Yes. So which means if I go to vendor line items display, not this one. No, as I told you.
In the system as well, in the source system too. Should be.
No. It will never go to the source. Target to source is not there at all.
Then it creates a discrepancy, right?
Definitely, and that is the reason I told you, if you want to avoid this discrepancy, you have to make sure that if your central finance system is only being used to collect the data, no manual postings, no this clearing, resetting should be allowed. It should be completely blocked for the users. Okay, so you can see it has been reset. But if you see in the source system, it will not make any difference. See here, they are already cleared. So this is a discrepancy. Why this discrepancy happened? Because you tried to do something directly in the central finance system, which is not recommended at all.
Basically, and there's a reason too. SAP is maybe possible, but it's not a limited central finance for SAP. It's a non-SAP system as well. So going back to that system and post it something is yes, too much.
No, definitely. So it is a decision. It is a decision that you need to take whether if you want to make a small change, are you going to make that change in the source system or in the target system? But you should be 100% sure that if you are doing anything in the target, don't expect that it will automatically reconcile with the source. So it is a discipline. If you say that I want to always make sure that my source and target are reconciled, in that case, no need to post anything in your target system. Everything should triggered from the source. It is just, I can give you a simple example. Most of the companies, they say that everything should flow from MM to FI, but still they post some FI transactions and they say there is a reconciliation issue, and then their management says now onwards don't do anything in FI directly, everything should come from MM, right? Every purchase, even for a small service, you need to create a purchase order, you should not directly book the invoice. So this is a discipline. It has nothing to do with the system. System allows you to post anything in the central finance also, just like a normal SAP system. But it is up to you whether you want to maintain that discipline or you want to use the flexibility what central finance provides you.
But Vikram, if both the system are SAP system, then two-way traffic still, very much possible. If I
No. If both, again, it is all about what you want to follow. Two-way traffic, but let's assume if I'm using a central finance system, I am very much clear that it is only going to be used for my reporting purpose. I'm not going to post any direct transaction in central finance. Then there is no two-way traffic. Na? It will be only one direction traffic. But if you are using central payments, as we discussed, there are some other features which you can use in central finance directly. If you are using central payments, then you cannot definitely expect that my central payments will automatically update it to the source system. You already know that that is a challenge. You will not be able to reconcile. But still, you want to use the flexibility what central finance provides to you. So it is all either reconciliation or flexibility. Customer has to choose one of that, right?
Yeah.
It cannot be both.
Okay.
I think we can overcome with the controls and other thing, as you said, that restrictions and other thing, to achieve both things at some level.
Maybe, yeah, in future may be possible. So SAP, as I told you, continuously with every version, there are few new enhancements which are making sure that everything is consistent. But still, as of today also, it is not like any customer can go and implement central payment. There are a lot of restrictions. So that is the reason. Maybe I'll first complete this scenario and then I'll come to the central payment. So this scenario one is clear now. You understood? In scenario one, the payment will be happening in the source system and it will be triggered in the target system. Whatever changes you do in the source system, it will automatically get triggered in the target system as well. So this is the approach where you need the separate cash and bank management team for each source system, right? If you have 10 different sources, you have a separate team looking into 10 different source systems. But if you want to have a centralized cash management team, then maybe you will think of coming to the central payment, where there will be one team who will be responsible, irrespective of what is the source system. All the payments will be handled from the group cash management point of view. And that is exactly what is a flexibility provided by central payments. Okay, so let's talk about the second scenario now, which is very straightforward. I told you what will happen is this will never reconcile. You can see this will never reconcile because in the source system, you are already telling the system that to clear. So in the source system, you'll not be able to know how much is my total due for a particular vendor, because everything is getting cleared automatically as soon as the document is posted, right? But you are getting flexibility here. You are not getting reconciliation, but you are getting flexibility. The flexibility is that you can make the payment from one single location. There can be one team responsible for making the payments throughout the world, right? So that is the advantage that you will get if you go for the central payment. Now, as I told you, there are some restrictions. Maybe in tomorrow's session, we will try to understand those restrictions, but I just wanted to introduce the central payment as of now. So you maybe, if you get time, just go through this SAP note. This SAP note 2346233. The problem is even you may not be able to find this SAP note because this note is only available for the customers who are already got the license to use central finance, right? Because this is the note which talks about the restrictions, and this note is used to ask SAP to activate the central payment for them. Okay, so if I'm a customer, if I'm using central finance, it is not just straightforward go to this business function and activate it. You have to ask SAP to activate it for you, because SAP wants to make sure, they want to keep a complete control. They want to know which customers are using this function, and before you activate it, they want to tell you very clearly what would be the restrictions if you go for central payment. So we'll talk about that restrictions, but those restrictions are maintained in this SAP note. Okay, and they want the customer to go through this SAP note and then only decide whether they want to go for central payment or not.
It's more like a documentation. It's not like a feature or enablement something, right? It's more like a, you know what I mean, Vikram?
Yes, yes, I got your point. So it is not just a document which you can go and see. It is actually, you can see before making the productive use of this product, please make sure that you fully understand the restrictions. No, not this one. I wanted to show you. No, this is all fine, but maybe I missed that point. There is, you have to create, maybe here. No, I think I need to add that point. So it is very clearly mentioned by SAP that if you want to use the central payment, you have to raise a ticket, raise an incident with SAP. Central, right? That we want to use. We already understood the challenges what payments has, but still we are whatever functionalities are available today, we want to go ahead with that and we want to implement that. And then only SAP will allow you to implement. They will provide you some maybe. It is not just like a single SAP node, you went and implemented it. The code and all they will provide you, and once you implement that code, then only you'll be able to use these features. So today, if I show you our source system, in our source system, we are not getting all these options. In our source system, if I go to CFIN IMG, I'm only getting the option of that initial load settings. It is not giving me this option to configure the source system for the central payment. The reason is those central finance, central payment related nodes need to be implemented, and they need to be implemented with the concern from SAP by raising the incident to SAP. Then only you will be able to use the central payment feature. Okay, but anyways, what we will do in the next session, we will understand the central payment, how exactly it works, what are the configurations that you need to do, although we will not be able to see practically in the system, because as I told you, it has to be created as an incident to SAP before you want to use it. It cannot be used on the test.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what setting we need to do in a, I mean, why we need to do any setting in a source system? Because Open AP, we see that is coming in. We are not syncing back the source system from a target system. What setting we are expecting to do in the source system for central payment?
Okay, you tell me, looking at this picture, what you need to do in the source system in scenario 2.
Yeah.
I think if you do that, if you are in the target system, you're making the payment. In source system, you must list it, otherwise you might end up double payment, right?
I couldn't understand. Can you repeat your question? Voice is breaking.
See auto clearing. See this auto clearing.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
see,
open
you can
item
see.
clearing. Got it. Got it.
Can you hear me now? Right.
Hey, what
This
was
automatic clearing will only work if you activate the central payment in the source system.
Got it. Got it. That makes sense. Yes.
Sorry, are you able to hear me clearly?
I had the problem, but I think now I'm good.
Nikhil, you were asking something?
Yeah.
Okay, Farooq. Nikhil was asking something. I think.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Nikhil, we can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Isn't this the same discussion? I mean, it's like, I think this was the same discussion we were having earlier, right? That I think if we are going to use central payments in the target system to make your payments, then that functionality automatically makes the updates in the source payment also once you make that payment in the target system.
No, Nikhil. Auto clearing means as soon as the document is posted in your source system, which document? Invoice, not the payment. Because you are telling the system that the payment would be done from central finance, and that is the reason you are telling the source system you don't need to worry about the payment. You clear it immediately.
Okay, so that that is provided you are using central payments in the target system.
Exactly, that is a prerequisite. If you are not using, then the scenario 1 would be applicable.
Then it is the regular. I mean, your source the source will get updated, and it will through SLT target will get updated.
Exactly. If you are going for scenario 1, then you will make the payment in the source itself, and from the source it will move to the target.
Okay.
So Vikram, for the second scenario, if we are posting the debit and credit notes, how the system, how the system will work? It will also auto cleared.
Everything, whatever you do in the source system, it will get automatically cleared. It has nothing to do with the central finance. In the central finance, whatever documents are replicated, those can be cleared, those can be paid. So even if you are creating a debit memo or a credit memo in the source system, it will get auto cleared in the source system and it will be replicated in the target. And in the target, you can clear those open items with the debit and credit notes.
But what about non-SAP system, Vikram? That will happen the same way, or?
Non-SAP, it is up to, see, in non-SAP, maybe we need to discuss non-SAP separately, because what will happen there is, non-SAP is not in our control. See, what SAP is doing is, whatever notes they are providing the code which is written to update the SAP related things, right? But for
ECC.
non-SAP related things, you have to involve some technical guy who can work on their system to update all these things.
Right.
For
Right.
example, whenever the data is
Non-SAP
replicated,
project will be huge, I can imagine.
Right.
So
So
non-SAP.
in non-SAP system, in short, it is all kind of coding will be required to update.
All SLT coding.
All manual,
Right.
huge coding required.
Must be like reverse interfaces also updating
Reverse
the.
interfaces also, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We
Makes
have
sense.
a discussion on that also. In that session, I will explain. But again,
Okay.
in source systems, if they are non-SAP, from functional side, we are still on the same level. From the functional side, again, it is up to the customer whether they want to make the payment from the source or to the target. But ultimately, whatever changes are required to the source, you just need to understand from the in the same way as it is happening in SAP, and you need to give it to your technical team so that they can write that code, and you need to do the testing on that.
Yeah. No, noted. No problem. Yeah, thank you.
So in short, you will try to bring the same behavior, what is happening in the SAP system, to the non-SAP systems. In SAP, it will be done automatically based on the SAP notes. But in non-SAP, you have to write that code in order to make the system behavior as same as the SAP source system.
Can you just Vikram walk through us the whole process for central payment from source system in option 2? So we are assuming the central payment will be managed in the target system.
Yes. So as I told you, in the next session, we will go in little bit of detail, but although we will not be able to see the practical scenario, because the system that we are using, we cannot use the central payment, because it has to be, as I told you, you need to create the incident with SAP if you want to use this in any of your system.
Basically, SAP is not encouraging to use the central payment at this point.
It is not encouraging, but they want to make sure that whoever is using is knowing the goods and bads of it, rather than just implementing it.
Okay. Thank you, Vikram.
And again, this central payment is a developing, even the central finance, as I told you, these are all developing tools. So there are a lot of things which are being developed in the backend. So even whatever are restrictions today in central payment, maybe in the next 1 or 2 years, those restrictions also will be over, and then SAP itself will encourage the customers to go for central payments.
And Vikram, can we go with at least one session or something about the challenges for central for the central finance that you face in the projects? Okay.
Yes, Parok, we had that session. So once we complete this replication part, we will be talking about the initial load, and after the initial load, we will be having the one session on challenges, and one session on the central functions apart from the central payments that you can use, like disputes management, collections management, cash management, group reporting. So we will understand what kind of central functions can be used on the central finance system.
Sure.
Okay, so any questions before we close?
Vikram, could you please show us the next session also that how can we configure the AIF, like which are the fields can be editable, which cannot be?
No,
I
that is
think
actually technical, Adam. That is actually technical. So you can see even in this server, even I am having the full authorization, but still they have not provided me that authorization, because if I change anything there, it may impact the entire AIF itself. So that is something which even in your practical scenario, you have to contact your AIF, or there is an interface consultant, PI consultants normally. They will be able to help you out there.
okay.
LTRC, AIF, these are all technical tools.
Okay. Just show us the path at least.
Yes. Path I'll show you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we start creating our company code in and start kind of practicing?
Definitely, that is what is expected from you,
Because
because
yeah
you need to
because
come up with the doubts. Maybe whatever you are seeing here, it looks good, but when you start configuring, you may get a lot of
correct.
errors because you may have missed some things. So definitely, that is what is required from your side.
Okay. No, anyway, I know you sent the access early during I mean last week itself, but been very busy with some stuff. So maybe this weekend we'll start
Yes,
working
you
on
can
it.
utilize the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Vikram,
then.
please
Thank you
send me
all.
the access. Huh? I
Yeah,
not
Vijay,
received.
sorry, I forgot to provide you the access. I already requested the vendor, so you will be getting maybe today itself.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we will be in meeting next week, right?
Yeah, next week, our normal Tuesday.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.